Yep. Yep. G'day, mate. How are you? How's your mum? Get this all set up. Make sure you can see my pretty face. Hey, good morning. How you doing? You're looking good? You feeling all right? Hope you're healthy. Hope you're happy. Hope everyone, all your loved ones around you are safe. Welcome to Forex.Today. So it's approximately, 8 o'clock in the morning. This is an opportunity for currency traders around the world, well, at least 13,000 of us, to get together and realign our satellites, make sure we got a good notion of what market conditions are, risk on or risk off. So we can talk news, we can talk technicals, we can talk fundamentals, we can talk trader psychology. We're going to cover dollar pairs, yen pairs, Swissy pairs, commodity pairs, gold, oil, Bitcoin, probably a little bit more. And we're also going to get weekly jobless claims. Whoa. So it's going to be a very big day. Glad to have you here. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Tell YouTube this is quality content. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hi, my name is Wayne. I'm here to share my 20 years of foreign exchange trading experience with you, with the overriding goal of teaching you how to put together trade plans that are conservative and disciplined, and give you the gift of patience to set them up and carry them out. So please ask questions, get involved, write things down. I'm here every single morning, 8 a.m. for you. Very cool. That's because of tradersway.com. They are the sponsor of our community, and therefore, would you please pay it back? They're a foreign exchange, a boutique foreign exchange trading brokerage firm that would like to earn your loyalty and respect. So that's why I come to you every day on their behalf. So if you are benefiting from these webinars, make sure you pay it back by visiting tradersway.com. Open up a demo account. This way you can introduce yourself and say, hey, thank you for doing this for me, right? And now, download MT4 from the back office, play some trades, practice on their demo account. You'll see the execution speed is fast, the spreads are narrow, the swaps are huge, customer service is world-class. But the thing is, as you practice for days and weeks and months and years with me, when you develop the skills and confidence that you need to trade real money, at that point you'll already have developed a relationship, a positive relationship with Traders Way, and perhaps you'll choose them to be the prime broker for your new successful foreign exchange business. Tradersway.com. Thank you. So we got news today. 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so about half an hour away from weekly jobless claims. It's still going to be bad. Still going to be bad. But how bad? How bad is it, right? How bad will it be? Well, we'll find out. It's probably going to be less bad, which is probably pretty good. But right now we have a pretty big risk-off feeling right now. As I've been talking the last, week or so, this dichotomy of the stock market jumping 6 months in advance ahead of economic activity, that's pretty normal. But everyone that needed to get out because they made bad trades over the last 2 years, let's say in the stock market, bad investments, they bought Apple at 27 times earnings. Well, that was just dumb. So those guys lost money. Great. So the stock market drops 2.5 years worth of points. But like I said, whoever bought Apple in the last 2.5 years were way too late. Where were they 10 years ago, right? So anyway, so those are the ones that got knocked out. And so who bought the bottom? The smart money. That's been waiting for years, patience and discipline. So now they bought at the bottom, and then a whole bunch of people follow on after that and jack up, and from the bottom, it's up 50 or 60 or 70% depending on the stock. So that's way too much. That's overshooting the moon for sure. So now that fat's got to be trimmed off the meat. So we're probably looking at a potential double bottom, right? We're trying to find the right price in the market. And it was too low, and then it was too high. So now we're looking for true equilibrium. So, and plus we still got things like we're not quite there with a solution to this COVID problem. So we're the irrational exuberance bubble has been burst. So it seems like it'll come on down, and we'll reprice and find a better harmony, aka stock market down, risk off. Very cool. Okay. Now, some of the exotic currencies are not behaving that way. They're actually exhibiting, like Euro Turkish lira is actually looking risk on, but many other things are looking risk off. So that's going to be very interesting. If you want to know if Trader's Way is going to add indices, why don't you contact customer support and let them know you care? See, if they don't offer it, it's because they don't think anyone cares. So if you care, let them know. Talk to them. Okay? All right. All right. So, yeah. So where should we start? Let's start, Let's start over here. Shug says, World Health Organization that says there's a possibility of COVID-19 becoming an endemic. Yeah, well, of course, they need future funding as well, right? So remember, everyone's talking their book. You better give us billions of dollars and fund our jobs because you're going to need us. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but remember everyone's point of view. They're of course they think there's going to be another one because that's what they do. Okay. For example, when you get audited, either by the tax man or by compliance, if you're a professional manager, their job is to find something wrong. Always remind yourself that. They're there to find something wrong. That's their job. So if WHO said, you know what, there's nothing to worry about next year, this whole problem solved, then why do we need WHO? By WHO, I mean World Health Organization. Right? So they're like, oh my God, you're going to totally need this. This could totally get worse next year. So please send money. Okay? Not that they're doing it sort of overtly, but that's just how humans work. You go to a barber. Hey, do I need a haircut? Yes, you need a haircut. You go to the dentist. Oh, you should pull those wisdom teeth. Why? I need a BMW payment. That's just how it is, right? Yeah, right, customer? Like, he says, I don't know what they do besides press conferences. Yeah, so whatever, right? That's all. So when you get audited, they will find a problem. They will find a problem. So during one of my audits, they went through every single YouTube video I had posted to make sure I said a disclaimer. Now get this, they're sitting with a laptop watching FX Bootcamp videos on YouTube, one person's full-time job, for a week. They watched YouTube videos. And they found one, and it was one of Kurt Worley's videos from like 4.5 years earlier. He said the disclaimer, but he didn't show the image. So he said it. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. But he didn't show the image. So they fined me. Well, they didn't fine. It wasn't a fine. It was, deficiency. So I had to explain why we were so careless and all this kind of stuff. And I had to show how I was going to reprimand him for being, I'm like, oh my God. So be careful, right? So if you ask the World Health Organization, is there going to be a pandemic next year? Yeah, there probably will be, and you need us to take care of you, right? So, of course, that's what they do. So you can't hate them for that. You just got to understand their point of view. All right. Cool. So the stock market's overvalued. We need to find a harmony price. Delta is below $20. I think MGM Grand is back down to 12. So, I'm moving some money over, getting ready, got some dry powder I want to deploy soon. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to buy at 10 or buy at 5. Let's see how bad it can get. Oh, I certainly did, Lowell. Certainly did. Okay. But it just shows you guys, when you're ready to trade other people's money, the trading part's the easiest part. Okay. You got to have to do that. That's just, if you can't trade profitably, you can't be a professional trader, right? So then the next level is running a small business and being regulated, right? And all that kind of stuff. And raising money is a whole different thing. So yeah, yep. All right, so anyways, what we're looking at here is maybe some down and some up, and if it was going to happen, this $70 level is where we're talking. Now, we've been talking about this now for probably a week and a half, selling off 70 if you're a bear. So you remember that whole patience and discipline thing? Okay. Yeah, that's what it looks like to be patient and disciplined. Okay. So tested, shorted, tested again, right? And now here you are, up about 150 pips profit, not quite, 130 pips profit off the top. Or you took the lower high off the double top of the right shoulder, so I call that a double top of a double top, which is actually the normal entry here. Okay, and now you got a lower low, so I think by definition, from here on in, at least to this point, you're going to sell lower highs, right? So what you're seeing here, lower low, lower high, roll reversal 21, 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 until it stops doing that. And when it stops doing that, shields up, red alert, brrr, brrr. Okay. So that's a risk off. And here's the thing that we talked about yesterday. This is the one bulls want the most. So if you're a bear, that's the last one you want, but it's working now. But if that's moving, something else is moving better. And that's the part you got to know. That's the part you got to know. So if you pick on like a yen, Wade. What's up, Wade? What? What's going on here? Hello? Okay, so if Aussie yen's coming down, booyah. Okay, and we discussed this is the better one if you're a bear. Okay, so rollover. Okay, so that's what you're thinking, or higher up. If you're okay. Nice. Trap it, break, pull back down. Okay. So now, and you can see I've already marked all of this, so we already knew this, right? So now it's kind of like up to this zone, down to this zone, maybe a breach, and then that, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So we're at 1550. So how about come up, tickle, not quite 116, and then back down to 15 to breach that support. Okay. Thank you to the 1/3 of people that have clicked like. For the other 66 people that have not clicked like, would you please click like? I'd appreciate it. Again, you're not helping my ego. You're just telling YouTube this is quality content. Okay. So please do it just to sort of endorse our community. It's your community. Okay, you see the steps? Until we get to here. Oh, so cruel. You're so cruel. Cool, right? Now, the actual target here is the actual target is 113. If you're going with the trend idea, if you believe this is a trend, we're actually on our way to 113. So remember, we set this up over and over and over again at this price. So you're short at 116.50. So let's say you're short at 16. We're on our way to 13. So there's closer to 350 pips on this, right? It's not bad. It's about right for a swing. Okay. So imagine like this is that move. I only hold on to watch you go down. You're so cruel. There we go. Yeah, it's about the same, huh? Not much different. Okay. Another way maybe you could do it is pretty standard operating procedure to do a fib. It's not a perfect fib, but it is what it is. 618 predicts 1382, and that gets us to 113.08. And I said, based on pivot points, the target is 112.90. Okay, so 90 point something. So there's 27 pips different. So it's about right, it seems, huh? You combine the two strategies, and this seems pretty reasonable. We fight all the time, you and I, with the same soul. All right. By the way, I feel so good. I got sleep again last night. I'm feeling happy and glad and privileged to be here with you, to be fully concentrated. It was funny, last night we were doing technical analysis with the group, and I was trying to change the chart. So I said, okay, let's open up like Euro Swissy. And then I'd stare at this list, and my brain would just go like numb. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what am I doing again? Oh, Euro Yen. And then I'd look for it, and then I'd fade again like, wait, what am I doing? Oh yeah, Euro Yen. And I'd really struggle like, oh, there it is. So anyways, I feel sharp as a spoon now, so even, right, I'm halfway there. All right, so yeah, let's go back to sort of a scan here. Okay. Cool. Big move. Big move. Looks like I should have held on to my Bitcoin last night. So that's good. I had a Bitcoin in here somewhere, and it took about 6 hours. Boy, it takes a long time to confirm a Bitcoin now. In the 6 hours, I have to pay like $300 in fees, and I made the $300 in fees in the 6 hours it took to confirm, because it came in here and then I cashed out up there or whatever. So that worked out pretty well for me. And then of course it went all the way up, and here we are tickling 10 again. So that whole halving thing, wah, wah, wah. Sold a lot of blog posts, right? Sold a lot of Google ads, but nothing happened. You're so cruel. Is that right? I can actually type the name. What do I do? Just pound. Great British pound. Oh, what do you mean type it? Anyways. Well, guys, I don't think you should stand your ground on a lot of trades. So let's go to like $1. You have to understand the market is not a normal market. We're in a price discovery mode. Like, and when I say market, let's say the S&P 500, because that's a clear, view of whether money is being deployed or removed from the market, right? And we're in a price discovery mode. We don't know what stocks are worth. We don't know which companies are going to be able to access liquidity, aka borrow money or issue bonds, right? And which ones can't. We don't know when the pandemic wanes, business goes back to normal, or if there's another, another problem at the end of the year or another problem next year, right? So we just don't know all these things, and it's a price discovery. Okay. So don't stand your ground like you're certain. Now you can have an opinion, risk on or risk off, but don't stand your ground like you're right. Nobody knows. It hasn't been set yet. This is a price discovery. Stocks fell 50%, great. They could fall 618 just as easy. Do you guys remember, like in 2008, I said you could buy the Spanish stock market at like 85% off? And I said, look, is every Spanish company going to go bankrupt and their stock going to go down to zero? People said no. Okay, you can buy that. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So yeah, like the great one is Starbucks dropped from $100 to $50, and it bounced it exactly to the penny 50. So what were people doing? They said, hey, if this drops 50%, buy it. Okay. And I gave you similar advice even last year. I said, find 10 stocks you'd want to buy, right? Put down the price, percentage-wise. Would you buy something if it dropped 20%? Well, hey, dude, it dropped 50%. Would you buy it? Okay, but we're trying to figure out, what is it worth? What if people don't return to traveling on boats? Okay, what if people don't want to get on a boat with 5,000 sick people? What if people don't want to go in a casino with 50,000 sick people? Maybe those stocks don't come back. Maybe MGM Grand borrows $5 billion in cash, but no one ever comes back, so they can't pay the $5 billion back, and then they go bankrupt. Okay? Like what, right? What if? We don't know, so don't be so certain. So I would rather look at it like, know what you prefer. Like I'd prefer risk on. I would. Okay? I would prefer it, but there is absolutely going to be episodes of risk off because it's part of price discovery. And part of price discovery is getting new information. Okay. Javier says Carnival cruise bookings are way up. Cool. So you can buy the stock at $12 now. It was $16 a week and a half ago. Okay. Okay. And to put that in context, it's 60. Friends of mine own it at 45. That happens. Oh, no shit. That's a good trade. You caught that nearly on the bottom, Javier. Very good. Okay. So anyways, I'm using this, and the tone of the conversation yesterday was Bears have done everything right here. And bulls did what they could, but it didn't last. Okay? Everyone's doing their job right. And bears that are making money here should be cautious as we approach this place here. If you're not cautious, you're not doing the analysis. You're trading blind, not naked. Okay? Nice. Yeah, it's a heck of a trade. Yeah. Okay. That was a good one. Might be interesting if one of those or two of those companies go out of business and they consolidate, and one company picks up a whole bunch of boats in bankruptcy court. Wouldn't you like to buy, $1 billion boat and only pay $400 million? That'd be nice, right? Wouldn't it be cool, like if a billionaire just said, you know what, I'll buy one of your boats for myself, Carnival. I have to refurb it, but why not, huh? So anyways, yeah, don't be certain, guys. Understand that the market isn't certain. We don't know, and so some people are buying low, some people are selling high, and people that are certain are getting mediocre results. Okay, and there's a difference between certain and having a bias. Like, if you're a bear, that's cool. There's obvious places to be a bear. Great. So you set those up, but don't assume we're going to break through like a hot knife through butter. I think that's overzealous. Okay? So I would just check in every day and do the job. What's up, Ross? Oh, thank you. I got sidetracked there. All right. Let's do the bloomy. We'll go to Axel Steele on this one. Good morning, Axe. Yeah, one thing I was thinking about with Bitcoin, I don't know if you guys use it or not, but it seems to me it's slowed down and costs are a little too high. Is anyone running into that? Seems to me that's 3% is a pretty high transaction cost. Wait, maybe it's not 3%. Wait, maybe it wasn't 3%. What's 300 out of 10,000? Is that 0.3? Maybe it's only 0.3. Yeah. All right. Maybe that's only 0.3, so maybe I'm bitching. Nobody likes paying Visa. Okay, we're waiting for Bloomberg.
I was actually poor.
13 seconds.
Eat your bag of Lay's with a smile on your face.
If all the diseases have been taken.
By the way, how's the microphone? Is it still ticking? Tick, 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 tick.
During these uncertain times, we remain committed
to providing the news and data driving global markets.
Well, there's only one
Make sense of this
Bitcoin.
situation impacting all of us right now.
Yeah, I made an adjustment on the mic.
We stand by that commitment.
We're here for you.
18
This
seconds,
is
we're
Bloomberg.
waiting. Come on, Bloomberg, get on with it.
This is Bloomberg Daybreak. We have initial jobless claims coming in about 30 seconds time as a real risk-off day developing here in the market. You now have some indices over in Europe off by 3%. Here in the U.S., we're rolling over as well. S&P down by about 22 points. It's a stronger dollar story, and it's a buy the safety of bond story. The outlier, though, is the oil price, which is up on the IEA report that supply is really coming to shut in now, yet not really enough necessarily.
Son of a bitch, I hate Windows. There we go. I've even turned Snap off and it still does that. Wow. Now it freezes on me. Come on, dude. All right. After all of that. All right.
Jobless claims number, though, the expectation was for 2.5 million. That would be less bad. It comes out about 2.98 million. So worse than estimated, but still down sequentially as we try and suss out, have we reached the worst part of the unemployment picture, and then we can base around here before we start to recover. That the question in the market. Now, typically we wind up shoving off all bad data from the U.S. We take a look at, though, at S&P futures. They're off by about 22 points, but the tape was really bad. So we'll look and see how the market digests this. Michael McKee,
Easy
Bloomberg
peasy,
International
guys.
Economics and Policy Correspondent, with me as always to break down the data. Mike, your reaction to the number?
This isn't particularly good news because the number comes in significantly higher than we had anticipated. It may mean that states are catching up on backlog jobless claims, or it may mean more people are filing jobless claims. It's hard to disentangle the two right now. I'm looking at the continuing claims number, and that didn't rise nearly as much as we thought it would. It was 22,647,000. That was last week revised lower to 22,377, and now it's 22,833. All of that means that there aren't as many people who are getting checks right now as perhaps we would anticipate. If you add up all the jobless claims,
right on,
the initial
Daniel.
claims, you're over 36 million. So there is a missing component here of people who haven't gotten checks, or possibly people who have gone back to work because the Paycheck Protection Program has allowed them to be rehired. It's going to take a long time for us to be able to sort all this out, Alex. And in the meantime, all we can do is kind of look at this and say things are still bad. And while we've come down, we're still experiencing the results of a very terrible recession.
Here's the interesting thing. Like, I don't know how you see this, like,
maybe
in the market.
Worse. Maybe we can look at it that
These
way.
candles
still
are
off by about 23
let's say
points.
107.90
And I also
down
wondered,
to
too, Mike, when we had this risk-off feel, how much the rhetoric
are like
over
13
China
pip candles.
and the U.S. with President Trump's interview this morning,
Back when I
how much
first
that
started
also
trading,
just plays into the market trading heavy.
It would move on in normal basis 13 pips in a minute. So if news came out like weekly jobless claims and it was worse than expected, and like this news would have moved the market 300 pips. It moved the market 13 pips. So I don't know if you're looking at this going, oh my God, look at the euro dollar. Because sometimes you guys say that and I look at them like, I don't think anything happened. Nothing interesting anyways, right? Well, back then, the liquidity was so much less. Okay. Okay. It has to do with liquidity. So there was exponentially less market participants. So the news would come out and all of a sudden the next buyer would be down here. So it would drop and then it would pop and it would go back up. So it would drop 100 pips, and then it would go up 100 pips. And then it would drop 200 pips, right? Well, it would drop 75, 75, 75, right? So there's just more buyers, more sellers, everything's smoothed out. Okay? So back in the day, I remember very specific trades where by the time I hit out and by the time I got taken out, there was slippage of hundreds of pips. How'd you like to be slipped 250 pips from the time you hit exit on your trade and by the time you're actually taken out of the trade? How would you like to give up 250 pips profit? It's happened to me. Not on Trader's Way. This was way back in the day. But the thing is, I still made 800 pips, so don't cry for me, Argentina. But imagine I went out, and I'm sitting there, wait. Oh, 50 pips gone, wait. 75 pips gone, wait. 125 pips gone, wait. You know, and 3 minutes goes by, and I lose 250 pips profit. Like, put that, I had to survive that. I think it's even before NetDania. I think I had like IntelliCharts and FXCM, I think was the first setup. No, scalping was more viable back then, but now, I don't know. It just shows you the more you trade, I guess the higher you trade, the really truly the better it is. So that's one of my worries is there's a lot of hype on YouTube about getting rich quick with scalping. And what I think they're doing is looking at an old model that might have been interesting 15 years ago, and they're still selling the same crap because it's a traditional pitch that has worked for millennia. Like, look, dude, you don't have to be very smart. You don't have to work hard. Beautiful women are going to find you interesting. And all you have to do is, scalp Forex on your phone, right? Like, it's the oldest sales pitch in the world. Imagine you can get rich, but you don't have to work hard and you don't have to be very smart. Uh-huh. Yeah, that sounds logical. Radsky? Well, she's a market wizard. Yeah, sign me up. Money for nothing and chicks for free. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. She's one of the original market wizards. Yeah, guys, if you're looking for like interesting reading, it's way outdated, but it's one of those things where most people my age, whatever that means, have read Market Wizards, and then the new Market Wizards and stuff like that. Right, and that. So, anyways. When am I going to Australia? I am overdue. I haven't been to Australia since 1976. No, that's not ZZ Top. It sounds like ZZ Top. No. Yeah. Well, I was wearing diapers the last time I visited, so. Yeah, thank you, Hope. Dire Straits. Yeah. Next year I want to go crazy. I want to visit the whole world. Okay. A little bit of a follow on. Skippity scalpy. That ain't working. I think, though, I'd like to go back to Singapore. We talked about it yesterday. So if you're in Aussie, if you're down in Oz, why don't you just visit me in Singapore? It's an easy trip. It's true, Hope. Depends on your barbecue sauce, Lucas. All right, cool. So let's back this out. Back it out. Wait for it. Okay. Wait for it. Money for nothing. Okay. Money for nothing. Yeah, and I definitely got to get back to the HK. My second home is the Ritz-Carlton in Kowloon. Yeah, cable doing it? Cool, you guys can be on that. Any risk off you want. Money for nothing. Cheeks for free. Okay, we can do a look around the world. So we have Pissy. Okay. And all it's done is, you know, one of these little doodads. Okay. So we're in the lower bound of 2 standard deviations from a weighted mean. Actually, it's not a weighted mean. It's a standard deviation of a mean. 2 standard deviations below the mean. If you want to look at 1 standard deviation, you wouldn't use a regression. You would use standard deviation. So in this case, you'd measure the same amount of data, and there's 1 standard deviation and 2 standard deviations. How pretty is that? Okay. Yeah, so you UK Kenny, you would head over to Singapore. I'm telling you, I love old hotels. I checked out of that beautiful suite at the top of the Ritz-Carlton, most amazing view of Singapore you can imagine, but it was so cold and so sterile. I checked out. I'm out of there. So I checked out, went just down the street, checked into Raffles, and you know, after a couple of $30 Singapore slings, you kind of get over that part, and it's a little bit touristy. And there's a giant gift shop, and there's signs everywhere that you should buy your $30 Singapore sling, and people do it, whatever. But so one of these great experiences I had is Daniel, a longtime boot camper, met me there, and we went to Chinatown because there's a cigar bar there. And you got to go, like, get out in Chinatown, then you got to go through this restaurant, and then you work your way upstairs, and there's a pretty nice cigar shop there. So I bought a cigar to have later that evening. So I go back to Raffles, And you know, there's not really smoking around. I mean, it's Singapore, right? So there's not a lot of places you can smoke in public. So I call my butler. No shit, there's a butler, right? So you pick up the phone. You're like, hey, butler. And actually, that reminded me. I check in. I'm like, so I can ask you for anything? Yes. So you can get me this? Yes. You can get me that? Yeah. Okay, great. Just want to know. So this is a true story. This is when they check me in, right? The butler shuts the door, walks away. I wait like 1 minute. I call the butler and I'm like, hey, I ask for something. Butler comes back. I'm like, can someone shine my shoes? Yes. Okay, good. Here's my shoes. I didn't hang. So anyways, so later that evening I come back. I'm like, hey, I want to smoke the cigar. Is there anywhere I can actually do this? And they're like, we'll set up a place for you. And there I am in this beautiful old hotel, and just, it's like traveling back 200 years. And I had this, and I was smoking my cigar, and it was all that kind of stuff. I called some buddies back home and had a good conversation, and they set it up, and it was just one of those memories, one of those nights that it was just beautiful and warm and tropical, and you're in this old building, and it's all beautiful and everything like that. And then you can kind of look up, and you can see the tips of skyscrapers. So it's kind of an interesting place. Okay, so pound Swissy doing its thing. So what I was trying to show you, like all of this is plannable. And then we get the news, and what I keep telling you is, when you do your analysis right, the news only kind of frees up the market to continue doing what it was supposed to be doing anyways. Okay. Would I go to Pakistan? I've been close. So I've been in the Punjab province of northern India, in particular Chandigarh. I was actually in the newspaper in Chandigarh. So anyways, it's pretty interesting. Right. So, but that's close, right? So many people in Pakistan you still eat Punjabi food, right? So when I say I've been to Punjab and Chandigarh, you know, it's close, right? I mean, it's not the same, but it's close, depending on where you are in Pakistan. But that's where I'm at a party, and there's thousands of people, and I used to be a leader in a nonprofit organization, and I'm at this bar. I don't know anybody at the party except one friend, and he ditched me right away to meet his old high school buddies. So anyways, I'm at the bar, and I strike up a conversation with some dude at the bar because he's drinking whiskey like me, so I'm drinking whiskey. And hey, what's up? What's up? We're talking chit-chat. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from America, but I'm Canadian. So we're going through this conversation, and turns out he was in the same nonprofit organization as me. He was a leader in Europe, a leader in India. I was a leader in America. I was on the board with, George Soros and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, no way. What are you doing now? And he's like, well, actually, I'm in a nonprofit here, and I'm doing this fabulous stuff where I'm, contributing to elementary schools in the slums where the kids are just old enough where the parents pull them out and shove them in factories and stuff like that, or have them pick garbage out of the garbage dump. And we're trying to build a school system to support them and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, no way, that is awesome. How can I help? And he says, well, actually, tomorrow morning, we're digging holes in the ground and putting beautiful trees in there and teaching the kids. And there's actually going to be a lot of newspaper reporters covering it, and they would love it to have you there, just to have some white guy from America witness and participate with the children. Like, people, so I showed up. I went to the slums the next morning, dug holes with the kids, and sure enough, the newspapers got all excited, and so I got my picture taken and stuff, digging holes with the kids and all that kind of stuff. So Chandigarh is a pretty nice place. Oh, you're from Chandigarh? I love Chandigarh. Oh yeah, I've golfed in Chandigarh, right? The Chandigarh Golf Club down by the lake and the rock garden. Yeah. Okay, here's your roll reversal. Also pay attention to psych levels. 118.70, 118.90. So 119 is way up there. So it started off the psych level, right? So you might even play it more of like a 15-minute chart, right? And you might look and say, well, this is a 50 of that, and this is the first roll reversal, all right? So it should be pretty standard scalping. Pinhor? Maybe, I'm not sure. I've been to Rajasthan, been to Agra, Delhi. Pinhor, I'm not sure. So are you surprised I know Chandigarh that well? So how about this? So I'm there and I got a bunch of buddies, like quite a few buddies, and they're like, we're going to stay at the Taj. I'm like, oh man, we stayed at the Taj in Rajasthan, right? In the Pearl City or whatever, the Pink City, whatever that, I've forgotten the name. So I'm like, oh man, how many of these 5-star hotels are going to stay at? So everyone stayed at, you know, a beautiful, beautiful 5-star hotel. And I stayed on a chicken farm for a week in northern India. Jaipur. Oh, yeah, Jaipur is beautiful. Yeah, I had a lot of fun in Jaipur as well. But imagine that. So all my friends are staying at a 5-star hotel with butlers and all this kind of stuff. And I lived for a week, maybe a little more, but probably just a week, on a chicken farm. Hui vey. A very modest but honest chicken farm. And that's how I rolled. Okay. Why is that, Reb? I missed it. We had more than expected unemployment, so the dollar got strong. I mean, it just makes sense. Fundamentally, it makes total sense. Okay. No, guys. So maybe I don't understand. Are you guys missing what to do? Like, you don't know how to trade the risk-off trade? This is just standard scalping. Maybe I should give you a link. Maybe, I assume you guys know this. Again, I've been doing these webinars for 15 years on YouTube, so I just assume you know these things. But let me bring up the free course. Okay. Remember, guys, ask questions. I don't know what you don't know. So let me give you a playlist. And free Forex trading course. Okay. Here we go. Here you go.
Hello. Welcome to the
Two
presentation
things.
for the
There's
daily effects on
I think
trading
there's 2 hours of videos there
You've
on
made
the
it to
basics of
presentation.
how I
think there's a few
trade.
chairs in the back.
Feel free to watch those, totally free, compliments of the firm. Also, while you're there, will you please subscribe to the FX Bootcamp YouTube channel? I need about 500 more subscribers. And when we get to that point, it'll unlock some features where I can do some cool things in the future with you. So watch the videos and enjoy, but also make sure you subscribe, okay? Davey, this is a risk-off play based on more unemployment than expected for this week. And we're doing a price action scalp. Okay. Yeah, well, focus. If you feel afraid about the world and the world economy, and you're not sure if you're going to be employed in a year or if you're going to lose your house or all that kind of stuff, do you save your money or do you loan your money to other people? Thank you, Rossi. Romu. Thank you, Romu. Save it. So that's risk off. Okay, you see what I mean? You're not going to invest your money. You're not going to loan it to your crazy uncle. All that kind of stuff, right? So that's risk off. You're not willing to take risk. So you're worried about losing all your money in general. So do you lend your money to Turkey? Do you take your money out of your bank and lend it to a real estate investment company in Turkey? Yeah, if I was worried, I would not take risk. So if you're a company, what you're supposed to do is fire everybody and keep your powder dry. Okay? So I want to do Turkey. So in this case, there are risk takers in the market. Okay? Do you think it's a coincidence we're stopping right on the support pivot? It's kind of interesting. So there is some money flowing from the United States to Turkey. So someone is taking risk. But it may not be you. So typically when the stock market comes down, the dollar gets strong, the yen gets strong, and the Swissy gets strong. So that's why when there's higher unemployment than we expected, I mean, that's clearly risk off. You clearly buy the dollar. You clearly buy the Swiss franc. You clearly buy the yen. It's sort of the ABC level of Forex trading. Like ABC meaning kindergarten / first grade. Like you have to understand that, right? So I assume you know all of this. And I apologize if you don't. And you need to ask more questions because this is very, very basic stuff. So higher unemployment claims, yeah, you would look to, that's risk off, right? So you're like down, 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 up, up, sell. Price action 101, right? That's why, so like when I draw this, guys, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be important here, I honestly assume you know what I'm talking about. Okay? I looked at this one as a plan B. Okay? I looked for psych levels. I said, where's 19? So that's way up there. So now I'm going to fib it. So there's two things going on here. There's your roll reversal, price action scalp. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If that doesn't work, then you're going to do sort of a roll reversal up to 50. So it's just a bigger roll reversal, but it's more of a spot than a scalp. And, you know, done. So focus, that's a lot of what we do in the video training courses. And that's a lot of what we do in the live trading group. We talk about these things. So like 2 days ago, we broke down GDP. Okay. So we broke down GDP and we looked at multiple subcomponents of C and the importance of I to the value of the USD in great detail. So we look at retail sales, factory capacity utilization statistics to anticipate new orders, to that anticipate, PPI, which then is a leading indicator for PCE and CPI, okay, which is an indicator here, and then I to the risk on or risk off mode for Americans, in particular, not just the sort of dollar denomination, but more of the wealth effect for households and its effect on the economy based on behavioral finance. So we talked about all this 2 days ago in the live trading group. Okay. Today we're doing group work. So everyone's going to log in. Putting people in random private groups. Everyone's coming to the meeting with trade plans they've already made and detailed on a particular currency for a particular reason, bias wise, risk on or risk off, that kind of stuff. And they're going to meet in small groups and pitch each other on what the best trade is for next week. And they're going to argue and hash it out probably for 45 minutes. And then at the end of the 45 minutes, we're coming back as one large group. And each subgroup has one person that's going to present their best trading idea for next week. And then I'm placing a trade on their trade idea. And then we're going to meet again to see how it goes all next week, right? So that's the kind of stuff we do in our group. Pretty hardcore. Okay. Okay. So here's what you'd be planning if you're a scalper. You want through, up, and through. So the way you get in, guys, there's a link for 80% off my training courses. So you sign up and you take the 80% discount. And then it's going to say, hey, do you want to join the live trading group? And it'll give you a discount for that. So do that. Cool. So that's doing that thing. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. I wish I could sell you. I wish I could scalp you. I like the way you trade. Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen that movie, Swing Trade? I like the way you trade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cash, but yes and no. They react to the macro part of that, and then they try to counter it, right? No, that is not the same group. No. Ryan runs a performance coaching group. So Cash is right, where the Swiss National Bank wants a weak Swiss franc. So they don't like this risk off move, but there's nothing they can do about it in the short run. Okay? You all know the loan. But you're right, Cash. Yeah. So, I mean, but they're going to try. I mean, that's what they do. But they have paid the penalty as well. So, but they can't overcome all the money in the world, right? So, yes, Switzerland wants a weak Swiss franc. But we all want a weak Swiss franc. I want a weak Swiss franc. I want a weak yen. I want a weak dollar. I want Americans to send money to Australia and South Africa and Turkey, right? I'd love it for them to send money there. Why? They're giving money to South Africa to pick up some diamonds and pick up some gold. Invest into the economy. Okay? That would be great. It benefits everyone to have positive macroeconomic activity. And that's simply what happens. Okay? If people put money in a Swiss bank account and do nothing with it, then nothing happens and nobody benefits. Okay? Well, as long as the stock market's coming down, you might want to take a look at that, right? So Ranger, why don't you look at gold, what gold has done in the last 2 months, and look at the stock market and see what it's done over the last 2 months, and then decide how close or how similar the price action is to each other. Okay? Okay, here's the moment of truth for scalpers. If it makes a lower low, okay, if it makes a lower low, you drag this across, and then in the future, it'll be a lower high. So if we breach here, it'll probably fall down to 118.50, then come back up to this 118.65, and then fall down to the next level. So if it does, then that's what will likely happen. Okay? Having a little bit of trouble. Okay, but that's where we are in the cycle. Let us move around now. Okay, there's a little X. They did get out. Okay, maybe people are now saying, you know what? It ain't as bad as you think. So now, here's what a bull needs to do in this situation. Okay, so a bull had to be patient and live through this pullback. So what a bull needs now is really a move like this. Okay, I think this is a big bet. Okay, so now I think a bull would want to buy a retest of 108 as support. Okay, so we got to get up here above 108 and then buy a retest of 108. Okay. And if you're a bear, you're going to say, okay. This is what a bear is going to say. Bear is going to say, okay, right? So be one or the other. Buying down here if you're a bull is a gamble. It's a bet. I don't like it. So if you're up here, buy here. Okay. If you're a bear, you need to do it again. I don't like USD yen because I'm a macro trader. Okay? And because of macroeconomics and the dynamics of macroeconomics, USD and yen tend to have similar macroeconomic pressures put on them because they're funding currencies. Japan used to be the second largest economy in the world with a very mature bond market. So it acts very similar to the US dollar. Right? Cool. So based on macroeconomics, they're about the same. They're essentially the same thing. Not really, but essentially in many cases. They're a funding currency. So, based on macroeconomic analysis, if the economy is up, if macro is up, these will both be about the same. If macroeconomics are negative, these will be about the same. Now you'll say, well, why does it move then? Well, that's because there's also relative strength. So let's say in this situation where dollar is strong, yen is probably strong too. Are they equally strong? No. So now you have to do a relative strength exercise. One will be either stronger than the other or the other will be weaker than the other. But the thing is, if they're both generally strong or both generally weak, if I trade, let's say if I buy USD yen and make money, I probably could have bought something else and made twice as much money. Same trade, but you're trading, let's say, something very, 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 very strong with something reasonably strong. Where you could have traded something very, 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 very strong with something very, very, very weak and have done actually better. So I separate the two. Okay? It's very rare where you have strong dollar and weak yen because of the mechanics of how money works. Okay? So when I look at USD yen, and I did this yesterday, in fact, we said something like, I think it was Aussie yen long if you're risk on. And I think we said pound, Great British Pound, Swissy short if you're a bear. And so what we did is we decided risk on, risk off, and we looked at Aussie yen being more bullish, pound yen and euro yen being more bearish. So we knew the risk on, we set that, so if you're a bull, you're going to look for Aussie yen long. Then we flipped it around and say, okay, now if you're a bear, what do you want? And we looked at euro first, but then we looked at euro pound, and pound was weaker than euro. And then we looked at Swissy yen, and Swissy was stronger than yen. So we had set up, so if you're risk off, you're better off going first with pound Swissy. Then you probably want to go pound yen, euro Swissy, something like that. And so we broke it down macro first, then relative strength. Okay. Red wants to trade watches. Not a bad idea. I was thinking about getting the I have the Sky King, but what's the other one? The Star King? I was thinking about getting a Star King. Because of all the time zones and stuff. That's a pretty nice complication. No, we can do them now. Oh, I guess Grind was the one that said it. So Grind, do you know the watch I'm talking about? Let me know if you can get one. Oh, I know what I have. I have the Air King, but I want to get the Sky King. I think that's how it is. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I know the feeling. All right. La. So, WTI, nothing. That was nice. Biddy, we can look at the biddy and we'll pop it out here. And we hit resistance and it hesitated. Okay. So this is where bears probably should have entered already. And bulls are going to try something a little dangerous. And bulls are going to kind of do this. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. I just like I like the new one. It's got that one extra complication that shows you the time zone you're in at the moment. And you can change the time zone without changing the, like it's got one more complication. I like the Air King though. Where do I have it? The Air King is a very, very simple watch. I like it because the band broke 3 years ago. But anyways, I like it because it's very, very simple. And if I'm wearing it, nobody knows it's a Rolex. No, it does. Right? It's a nice piece. Okay, there's no date, there's no nothing. I have mine, you know, it's nice, right? Can't quite see it. I can't do my zoom in like that. So anyways, that's nice. But there's nothing complicated about it. I love the fact you can hear the springs. Now the Sky King is super complicated. Yeah. Oh, you like the GMT? You got this one. You can't. It's too bad the camera doesn't zoom in. If you like watches. I'm sick of these big watches now, though. They're too heavy. Like this is heavy, and it's designed to go over your wetsuit. So here's the other thing that bugs me. So you put it on, and then you got your clasp. And your clasp is designed like this, but you're supposed to be able to pull this. There's a little, here it's on this side. You pull this, and it temporarily opens the watch so that it's, oh man, I can't even do it. I can't talk. So it's designed so that it's on your wrist, but then when you're putting your wetsuit on, you pop this little thing and it expands it a couple of things, it expands it slightly to go over your wetsuit, and then you fold it here. So when I wear it, it's so heavy that it pulls, pops, and then it loosens itself. And like, it's just too heavy. I mean, I'm telling you, this weighs like a pound. Look at the size of that watch. It weighs like a pound. It's crazy, but you can dive in it. Well, I don't dive in it, right? So anyways, so it's too big and too heavy. So now I want to get light and airy. Sky King was a TV show back in the day, really? Yeah. No, there's nothing, guys. It sits in my drawer. There's nothing interesting about them, but all right. So okay, gold. We had a few questions about gold. Let's go back to like okay. This is how I have gold, and we've had it there this way for a while. What do you see? 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations. There's nothing really happening, right? So let's say here's 1 standard deviation above and below the mean. We're barely doing a 1 standard deviation. Here's 2 standard deviations. So you're on the 2nd standard deviation, and here's the 2nd standard deviation below, both having a mean in here. Okay? So like we dipped a little bit in the 2nd standard deviation. We started above, But like since April 24th, gold hasn't done anything. And if it does decide to breach now, if it does decide to go up here, I think it's just going to do this for a little bit and has the, you know, the statistic says it'll probably revert back to the mean, which is back to here. So we're really essentially trendless. Okay. Yeah, focus. Wait, just keep it. Yeah. Yeah, the band, here's the thing. I got the band here. Someone asked about the band for the Air King. Oops. All right. So the band is broken. Okay? Stainless steel. They want something like $3,000 for a stainless steel band. And I'm so stubborn, I won't pay it. I'm like, I'm not paying that kind of money for stainless steel. I don't know why. I'm just pissy. So it's sat there in my drawer forever. I'm just like, that's stupid. I'm not that dumb. I'm not that dumb. That's why I say, like at Harvard, they have the Harvard bookstore, the Coop, and they sell shirts, you know, like shirts for $200. I think they have cameras up there, and they sell the shirts to tourists all day long. But if a student walks into the Harvard Coop, the bookstore, and buys a $200 shirt, they're kicked out of school because that's dumb. And there's no way a Harvard student's that dumb, right? Oh, me? No. No croissantry. No, I don't wear them. And so I think it was Reb and then someone else, Grind, said that they like trading them. So I'm like, oh, so it's more of a commonality, but no. No, I'm a pretty modest guy. So like that watch I love the most is the one that you wouldn't even know. That's the kind of guy I am. I appreciate the simple quietness of it. All right. So here's the thing. So this just goes back to analysis we did a month ago. We did breach higher high. We did retest. We're supposed to be making higher high. So right now, all we're doing is moving sideways, and the next move should be up, but that's a risk on play. Okay. You know, the nicest Ferrari I ever saw is when I was a younger man. I was probably 26 or something. And I was at some big meeting. I think it was called the Churchill Club in Palo Alto. And I attended a meeting. It was one of these meetings where there's all these rich white men on stage telling you how important they are. And I left a little bit early, and I was in the parking lot, and I saw this beautiful brown four-door car, but I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what the hell is that? Because it was gorgeous, but it wasn't a Ford, right? Like, what is it? I didn't recognize what it was. And I look inside, and it's got beautiful leather seats. I think it was white leather. And it had brown dash and brown around the shifting column, and it had a brown knob for the shifter, like beautiful brown wood, beautifully polished. This car was immaculate, beautiful. It was like a piece of art, but it was brown and white and four-door, right? Brown with white interior, and it was weird. So I go around the back to check out what it was, and it was a Ferrari. Huh. That's what I like. And you would never know what it was. And it was a four-door. It was strange. It wasn't flashy. It was just very, very conservative, but incredibly beautiful. And that's the kind of appreciation. So anyway, so by the time I saved money to buy my first Rolex, it turned out I bought the plainest, simplest Rolex because I thought it was beautiful and I didn't want it to stand out. So no, I don't own a car. I bought my wife a car. We have a second car. I have a golf cart. So, no. So anyways, there's just, okay. Yeah. This is just doing what it's been doing in the past. Everything is fine. Right? Don't overhype it. There's nothing crazy going on here. Do I use them? Absolutely. Yeah, you know, a friend of mine actually has that car because he commutes, and he's a car guy, so he's like, the best commuter car is a Golf GTI. It's like it's ripper fast, and it's tiny. So, Reb, I talk to people that buy gold by the ton. And I think there's more people selling than buying right now. This is how I kind of see it. Okay. So you bought an ounce of gold. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. So, but the thing is, like inflation now versus inflation 30 years ago, we have a very global market. And, you know, the United States exports inflation because they import cheap goods. So everything gets cheap in America. So therefore, prices don't go up and there's no inflation. Then we send our money to a third world country that has produced the stuff cheaper than we would. And what happens is it drives up the value of their currency, which is also deflationary because now their currency is worth more, they have to spend less. So the world functions a lot better than it did 30 and 40 and 50 years ago. That's why we haven't had inflation for a long time. But if you start putting up borders and putting up tariffs, then you will end up with inflation. How'd they decide Adolf Hitler was going to be the one that puts the first brick? Like the guy with the smallest mustache? He laid down the first one. Like, who even documented that? Well, make sure you write it down. Who got that first brick? No, some Hitler guy. Write it. Well, make sure you document that. You never know if this is going to be important information. I don't know who put the first brick down for my house. Volkswagen is a Nazi project. It's a Volkswagen. They turned Jeeps. They had a surplus of Jeeps at the end of World War II, so they gave it to people to drive around. Average folks. A Volkswagen. A car for people. The people's car. I don't know if it was a Nazi project. It was army surplus. Looked like Jeeps. People ride around in $75,000 Jeeps. Yeah. Well, they were also army surplus, right? They were Willie Jeeps. So, I don't know. I think that's probably too far to say it was a Nazi project. No, it's German war surplus. Anyways. Yeah, working on them today, Sammy. All right, so Swissy moderate, CAD off, Yen strong, USD strong. So this is the risk off play. The Swissy's mediocre, so it looks like if I had done pound dollar or pound yen, you'd be more impressed. But Swissy was strong yesterday, so So anyways, Euro weak, Kiwi very, very weak, Aussie weak, pound weak. So like Kiwi yen is probably another ripper one to be, that was good for that. So we can take a look more at that, if you will. I guess we'll just do this one. Look at 1937, Brazil was Nazis. Yeah, of course. But you can't call every company at the time. I mean, dude, yeah, they were building an army. It was the German army. German army was Nazis. But they were just building Jeeps, basically. Cheap, reliable vehicles that could be made mass production to support the war effort. And when they were done with the war effort, when the war was over, they had a lot of leftover cars. So they gave them to the people. But anyways, neither here nor there. I guess what I'm commenting on is, the use of Nazi. I'm like, okay. And Brad, too, the truck that all Jeep drivers wanted, they finally got it. They're like, wait, it's not a Jeep. It doesn't drive like a Jeep. Doesn't feel like a Jeep. And they're like, yeah, we know. That's why we didn't make one for 50 years, but you demanded one. And now they're like, no, we changed our mind. We don't want to buy a Jeep truck. Well, they're like, well, we told you so. So it's kind of funny. What's up, Davey? So yeah, I can see why I would have skipped this. It's just, once again, even though this is the best mover down at the moment, it's still a mediocre setup, so I'm not really interested. So I guess I did the right thing and skipped it. I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten. There was I did a case study on some company, I can't remember, and someone else did the case study on, I did GoPro cameras, and somebody else did a case study on Jeep. And so Jeep, forever and ever and ever, people said, make a truck, make a truck, make a Jeep truck, make a Jeep truck. And they finally made a Jeep truck, and they're like, yeah, it sucks. It doesn't feel like a Jeep, and it's a pretty lame truck. And Jeep's like, well, could have told you that. That's why we didn't make them. So anyways. A good buying, I think you should buy my video training course. It's probably the best thing you could do in the next 3 hours. If you have to ask me that, then that's the true, honest answer. You need to figure out how to answer that question for yourself. Okay. So let's just quickly look at all yens again together as a pair, as a family. Up means risk on, off means risk off, down means risk off. So if we do this on a single, not much different price action anyways, right? So we did pound Swissy. This is about the same. So, nothing's changed in your opinion, most likely. So if you're above this, you're probably still bullish. If you're below that, you're probably still bearish. And keep in mind the word still. It's not like you're just figuring it out, but okay. So like if you were a bear, you're probably going to try to sell this and take it down. And if you're a bull, you should be aware of that. And I don't know, at least jam your stop at break even. And I guess a bull's trying to take it up here. But I think bears are still going to give it a shot. They have all the permission in the world. But what will a bull do? Check this out. Here's what a bull will do. They're playing the bottom, higher high, higher low. Okay? So if you know which one you are, super easy. If you expect some indicator to tell you what to do, you're delusional. Okay, you see? That's where bulls are going to buy. Bears were supposed to sell here. It's just price action, very standard. So watch this. If you're a bull, you're going to look for an op this way. Okay? Now, typically, you would hope that the bigger... Oops, gold, dang it. I think typically you want the bigger price action to win out here. Okay, so, you know, this is the bigger down. But if a bull was going to do it, a bull's going to do it, right? So this is the kind of the original idea. And the threat to that idea is this. Okay, so bears here, bulls here. Remember, bulls buy low, bears sell high. And this is all, like, if you don't understand price action, you don't know how to trade. Okay? If you don't understand the price action of this, it ain't going to work. No matter what tool you use, if you don't understand price action, it ain't going to work. Whatever you're trying to do, technically. Because you still have to understand the nature of the market. Okay? So what do you think? Who's going to win this? Does anyone have an opinion? Who's going to win this, guys? Bulls or bears? Okay, so now you've stated your opinion. What are you going to do here? Okay, so I just told you in real time, a bull is going to buy it here, and now it's up. So bears, you really have to do something here, or the bulls are going to win. You see that? How cool is that? So if you're a bear, wakey, 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 rise and shine. Bulls did their job. Thank you, bulls. So easy. Easy peasy peasy. Okay? Bears, you better defend the midpoint psych level. Okay? Here's their price action, by the way. And then, of course, the psych level. So that's why I got this whole thing checked out with pink. That's the resistance. Okay, bears are in the game. Down this stretch they come. Now we're at 50-50, fib wars. Someone's thinking this, someone's thinking that. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. You won't know the loon. Come on, Baba. Oh, oh. Here we go. But isn't it cool to know, like, this is going to go up and that this is going to come down? It's just knowing how to trade because you know what a bear would do and why, and you know what a bull would do and why. And then if you're actually trading, you filter out based on your bias. Okay? So remember, guys, can you subscribe here for me? Or even for you? Again, I need about 500 new subscribers. And that'll unlock features I can do some cool things with. And of course, watch the training videos. They're free. You are not alone. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle. Up, stops are going to hit. Bulls are probably getting out. Oh, bulls are getting out. Hit some stops. Hit some stops. Another big red. Hit some more stops, you get a big red. Remember, it's not bears selling now. You'd be a fool to sell now. But you're hitting bullish stops, which brings it down. Okay? Remember, bears are selling sort of in here. This big candle is just stops. That's bulls leaving the market, not bears entering. Okay? Bears are supposed to enter here. Here's your second chance. Now this is stops being hit. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, though, guys. Appreciate it. But make sure you subscribe at the other link, too. That was a good one. We got to get that on a t-shirt. Hey, Maida? Bears eat meat. No. Someone doesn't have to be on the other side of the trade. They're exiting. Okay? So they were long, and now they're not long. The other one is FX Bootcamp, this one. I posted it like 3 times. That's the link to the training course. But while you're there, subscribe. That might be for video 4, so I apologize. You might have to click on the playlist and get it to video 1. You'll figure it out. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the family. Remember, I've been doing this a long time, so I just ask that you ask good questions, stay professional, treat everyone else in the chat with dignity and respect, and probably take notes. And look at this as not a get-rich-quick channel, but you're here to develop proper trading habits and skills so that you can turn your Forex trading into, a business and maybe be a professional one day. This is the Get Rich Slow channel. But I strive to teach you the why things are happening, not just what to do. So it's not a signal service. Cool. So there's the next role reversal. Okay, wait for it. I'm gonna drag it over just so you see that one a little more. Okay. So there's the next one. Yeah, Michelle, boring's the best. Okay, here's the inevitable. Now, if you guys like Fibonacci, you can throw down a fib, but it's all the same. All right, come on, Bubba. Come on now, bring it down. Okay. Is that right? 30-50? Do you have that to the short side? For Elvin? To the short side? So from 50 to 60 down? Yeah, 50, 60 down? Yeah. So in that case, that's preset now. So the idea is even on a 15-minute chart, let me zoom in here. Even on a 15-minute chart, you're probably looking at this will be retested sometime today. Okay, and that this area is the fib of this area. Okay? So this scalping could be over, or it just does this. Okay, you don't really know. But it could do this and then this. Okay? So what you can do is you back off the 1 minute chart. So the news part is over, the scalping part is over. But you could have this sort of as your trade for between now and the London close. And you kind of get, let's say it does a 618. Let's say it comes all the way back up to here. Doesn't mean it's over. Okay? It just means the scalp died. Okay? And that means between now and London close, you're looking at 1382, which is 130. So the plan would be as high as this, and then probably this area you want to exit. That's sort of like that. I don't know if you'd call that best case scenario, but let's say as a bear, bearish expected value. Yeah, sure, Sav. It's all the same to me. I traded a 1 minute chart for an entire year to teach myself and refine my abilities. So, sure, it's all the same to me. Okay? But if you don't have a plan, like if you don't have a strategy above, like, sure, I could trade a 1 minute chart, but I know what I'm going to do based on the 4H before I even look at the 1 minute. So when I look at the 1 minute, I already know what I want to do. And I'm set to do it. I got my finger on the trigger and I'm going to fire for effect. So 1 minute doesn't make decisions for me. Okay? Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And again, welcome to all the new people that subscribe today. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the family. There's 5,000 videos on YouTube associated with my work. So check out FX Bootcamp's YouTube channel. Check out Trader's Way YouTube channel. Check out it's about 1,000 videos now, or maybe it's more than 1,000 videos on Forex.Today. So there's tons of resources out there. Okay? So what do you think, guys? Loving it? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. There will be a challenge here. Be ready for it. And then there'll probably be a retest here now. And then down. Okay. Come on, Bubba. Boop. Hey, Richard, anything for you, buddy? All FX Bootcamp live traders on the course. Well, you only trade this pair. Come on, man. It's the only thing you trade. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to make a big thing about that, but in the live trading group yesterday, we went through most of the exotic pairs to show that even though there's quite a bit of risk off tone in the market, and there's definitely in the price action, for some reason, there is still some risk on for the exotics. So I think it's yield hogs that are still going after high income trades. And I think last week it was all rand, and this week it's all lira. And peso is even doing well from time to time. So it's just it's very interesting, that kind of dichotomy between the general market being risk off and then the exotic market risk on. Interesting. All right, here's the big challenge. We're on the monthly S2. So what this means, guys, 14 days ago, we said this is the low of the month. Okay? That's what that line means, by the way. That's the projected low for the month of May. Okay? This is the big deal, though, obviously. So even if we're going to go lower, okay, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, and then it's going to go down. Okay? Capiche? Yeah, boy. Come on, Bob. Oh, rejected again on the projected low. Projected and rejected, baby. Projected and rejected. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ma 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 ma. Ma 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 ma. Come on, Bubba. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break, break, break. Yeah. All right, get ready for the bounce. Here comes the bounce. Here comes the bounce. And I am now going to mark the next one. Next role reversal. Because we're projecting the future here. So get ready for the bounce. Here comes the bounce. Huh? Huh? My office? Well, I got my mini laptop. I got my big laptop. I got this 50 in front of me, 49 in front of me. And then I got 5 back there. So, but I used to have 18 on that rig behind me, but now I only have 5 4Ks, which is the same as 18 1080p's. But I find it really helpful. Obviously, I mean, I've been trading with a rig like that for forever, for as long as I can remember. And I can do analysis like this, and I can make decisions in seconds, and it'll take you many minutes to flip through your charts and even see it. I've already traded it by the time you figure it out. On 4K, on these are, I mean, it's nothing. And now that I moved away from LCD to these are like Samsung LEDs, right? So they require hardly any energy. They throw out hardly any heat. Oh, Brandon, that's the easiest. That's the easiest part of trading. A, you have a bias, and B, you do relative strength. Super easy. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Interesting. This is the last chance for the bounce. Looks like bulls are strong, huh? I mean, bears are strong. Cool. Well, get ready. There is a bounce in the works. It's either this wick or in here. We know it, right? So, like, this is the challenge, right? We know there's something there. And we know there's something, where do you want to put it? High or low? Let's do it lower. So we know there's something there. So we know there's some up before the big down, right? We know that to be factual. And there it is. That's the one I'm talking about. So I'm sorry, I was 1 minute early. I apologize for being 1 minute early. The bounce is here, but we're getting it. Okay? And you want some up, and then you want some down. Yes, I'll be here tomorrow, Rook. Random Gamer, they're actually technically TVs. Okay? Just, like, right? So, okay? Okay? Got it? Okay, remember, our target is 130. There's only 25 pips left. Yeah, I had to have a custom motherboard made, and I had to get proper power supply and all that kind of stuff to support I have 6 4K video cards. Okay. No, I used to have 18. I used to. There's plenty of old videos and pictures of me with 18 screens, but they really did get hot, and they were 1080. They were 22W 1080p LCD because that was the best they had when they were out. They probably cost me, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000, and then I had to buy the rig, the array. The array was probably $3,000, and then I had a liquid-cooled Windows 7 machine, which was another $5,000. Now you can do it cheap. Okay, so I had all of that. This is great now. So here's our up. You ready? This is what you're thinking. By the way, there's the bounce I was singing about. I said, here comes the bounce. Well, there's your bounce. And this is what you're thinking. Okay? There's this one, and then there's the bigger one on so that's a 5-minute retracement. This is a 15-minute retracement. Okay? So we'll see what happens from that. Okay? Isn't that nice, though, to be able to sing down on the 1-minute chart? Like, this one's going to be green, green, green. Then red, red, red. And then in 2 minutes, it's going to go up. Then it goes up. You got to know price action. Okay? There's your big bounce, by the way. Huh? High five, buddy. High five. I appreciate you. Now what? So if bears get this, they're taking it down to 130 and they're done. Huh? Oh, is that right, Mr. Highvolt? Cool. I'm thinking 10. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Will there be follow through? Come on, Bubba. Don't be afraid, Bambi. Oh, Bull's being stubborn. Bull's being stubborn. All right. Well, one of the things I'm interested in is supporting local companies, and that's a local one. Is it going to turn? Come on, roll over that 5-8. Come on, Bubba. So that's 2 candles now without a higher high. So we know the stochastics is overbought. But it's not pointing down yet. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. All right, so what? Okay, so no higher high, but still no lower low. So the stochastics now is even more overbought than it was before. And if this makes a new lower low, let's say this heads down to 130.28, then that would cross the stochastics downward. And okay, so if it closes this low, yeah, then you'll get your stochastics to roll over. So yeah, I'm calculated in my mind as we go on a 1 minute channel chart. Oh, nice! Here we go. Another 20 pips. Come on, Bobbitt. Get through. Come on. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through. Break on through. Okay, so your stochastics just crossed over. Okay, we are now making a series of lower lows and lower highs, according to the Stokes. Here's the big challenge. There's our old bottom, so this could be your double bottom. So bulls, wake up. A bull's going to buy it at this 25-ish area, and they're also going to buy it at 130.000 based on profit taking. So bulls, wake up. You're going to have your chance. Okay? Wake up, bulls. Okay, wake up. Okay, here's the big test. Will a bull do it? Is the big question, or will they stop out? If they stop out, we could drop straight down to 130.000. So the next 25 pips are important. So, okay, here we go. So we got our bounce, we got our pullback, we got our roll reversal. That's 3 in a row now. Very nice. SGW, stop spamming. Get your own community, dude. But on your own. Thank you. If you have to spam, nobody cares. SGW, if you want to develop a community, like the one you're spamming in right now, why don't you sit here every single day for 15 years like an adult would and earn your community? Yes. All right. And back, Luca. And back. Cool. Well, I just did in real time, pip by pip, candle by candle, price action, scalping. I hope you appreciate it. I need to go. I got a lot of stuff I need to do this afternoon. Lots of things going on. And I'm free as a bird. No Harvard. Woohoo! Nice. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being in the community. Thank you for subscribing. I'd like to thank Traders Way for being the sponsor. For all you new guys, please visit tradersway.com. Open up a demo account. I swear to you, it takes less than a minute. And once you're in there, download MT4. You can play some practice trades. The thing is, they want to earn your loyalty and respect, so please give them an opportunity. They're investing into you up front. If you need a book on Forex, if you need my chart templates, if you need video training, if you need coaching, if you need any help whatsoever, if you need a link to tradersway.com, it's all in the video description below. Please leave a like, please leave a comment, please document what you learned, and please have a fabulous day. I will see you tomorrow live here at the Forex.Today YouTube channel at 8 a.m. If you're in my live trading group, we're meeting at 5 p.m. Remember, you're bringing a chart with a trade plan, with a bias set. If you think it's the most beautiful trade we're going to do next week, so it's a weekly swing trade, you're going to bring it and debate it with a group of probably 6 or 7 other currency traders. And then as a group, you're going to decide on the best setup. And then we're going to have you share what that research was. And then I'm going to take the trade. And by the way, there it is, huh? Told you so. All right. Peace on earth. May the